Is it? I can stop.
No. It's just a mistake because we're streaming.
Oh.
We're sorry.
Hey, it's E3, and we're playing a game.
That's not at all featured at E3.
I would like to tell you about the final Smash move list for the entirety of the Super Smash Brothers Ultimate roster.
Strap in, boys. This is going to be a 5-hour stream.
So this is Warhammer 40,000, I believe. 40,000.
Warhammer the 40,000.
Yes, that's a lot of years. It's Inquisitor Martyr.
It's also the accurate number of games on Steam in the universe.
Well, now that Valve doesn't give a crap what you put on there.
This is the 40,000th version of Warhammer. They may have just finally gotten it right.
You know what? Warhammer 39,996 is actually my favorite in the series.
Before the Emperor of Man got real shitty.
Yeah. Wait, we're talking about the game now, right?
I don't know.
Okay. So, this is Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr. It's by the folks that made the Van Helsing games, isn't it?
Yeah,
yep.
Neocore.
Yeah, so,
there's
the hallmarks of Neocore games are here in that, like, your UI has a bunch of random little pips on it that all do something.
Yes.
They really like their random buttons, but for now, we're going to maybe do a mission.
Yeah, let's do a mission.
So we had actually checked this game out. What was that, like last?
It was last year.
I feel like it's been a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. Since then, it went through a beta. I mean, it was still in early access, but it went through its beta phase. And then, just launched last Tuesday.
Yeah.
And had a rough launch, unfortunately. They had to... the servers basically crashed on them, and they had to reset everybody's progress and turn off global chat in order to get stuff back up and running. Which, I mean, turning off global chat sounds like a great way to solve a number of problems in any game. But,
yeah, it worked for Destiny.
That's right. So, alright, I guess alright, we're here. So yeah, so rough start. And good news was it's kind of like the servers crashed pretty early on, so...
Who's not voting?
Sorry, that's me. Outside of a few probably pretty hardcore people, it didn't affect progress too much. And they gave everybody little cherubs as a sorry gift. This is interesting. Like, I've played through some of the story missions, which they switched and made single player only. I guess in part because there's a lot of tutorializing that happens. Like, I'm still not through the tutorial, basically. And I'm about...
Everything
10...
is a tutorial.
Yeah, because, I mean, So, okay. The core of the game is you go around on missions across this subsector of space, right? Like, you're part of the Inquisition, which means you're kind of given free reign to root out corruption and chaos and enemies of man wherever you go. Like, you just have carte blanche to go and do this stuff on behalf of humankind. So, ostensibly, right, like, that is the background and premise to you just being able to travel all around this subsector in space, take on missions, fight stuff, and get loot. Underneath that is a campaign that really is about teaching you how the game works, how you take on special missions. Like, there are assignments that you can take on that are like multi-step, like little mini stories, basically, which are kind of interesting in their own way because you have choices as that story progresses, and certain choices will like increase the rewards that you get, while other choices will like cause collateral damage, and you want to kind of minimize the collateral damage that you cause. You'll have missions that you go on as a part of all that.
The target is reinforced by anti-aircraft artillery.
Man, your speakers. I think that's you, Nick.
And guns first, then finish the bunker. All this taking
Nope, I don't see anything registering on my thing.
Or maybe it's Mike.
I didn't see anything on his either. I think it's just the game.
Oh. Sorry. So yeah. Anyway, so the little missions you take on is part of that. So they have lots of different setups to all this, and they have to kind of understandably guide people slowly through a bunch of this stuff because it is different in that particular way from most of the action RPGs, right? Like you can see us, we're running around here, we're shooting stuff. This is very similar to however many action RPGs you want to go through and list. But the outside stuff to all this, like the number of things that you can do and how you do them, and is really what is the draw to this, I think, and makes it a little bit different from Diablo and all the Torchlight and anything else that you want to go through.
Well, the big thing, immediate thing, is the cover system, right? You can actually
in the
cover.
mission, yeah, and it's like even enemies will go through and take kind of cover.
Yep, and it's destructible cover too. Like not only, I mean, some of it's barrels and pretty obvious stuff, but there's like pillars and walls and other things that'll wear down too, depending on the enemy.
And it's marginally like it kind of works. It's interesting because yeah, I mean like you have a character that you choose. You have melee characters, you have ranged characters. I'm playing the assassin. In a particular build, which we'll get into in a second, but like the particular build is ranged build, so I'm trying to keep my distance from everyone and use my sniper rifle to actually pull off headshots. There's a move that's like focus fire kind of a thing where this wheel pops up and you hold down the key to shoot and you wait until like time passes and then the symbol lines up with the skull, which is like the headshot, and it does the most damage against them.
That's actually a guy that was hitting me.
So you have range classes. You have Mike's playing a Psyker, so he's spells and stuff. Nick, I think you're the Crusader.
Yeah, I just lay down a lot of lead.
Yeah. And so like all these can be ranged or melee. Like you choose what sort of area that you want to go into with your character, but all of them can be ranged or melee, and they have different skill trees. And basically, there's 3 different subclasses within each one of these, and the different subclasses, all it does is what initial skill trees you have when you start the game. Kind of get dictated by that, but you can unlock those skill trees. So for instance, I'm ranged, I can make my person into a melee character instead if I use melee weapons a bunch. Like that's kind of how they have the hold. Here's how you unlock this stuff is go through and kill a bunch of enemies with melee, and then you can have access to this melee skill tree. Versus by default I have the range skill tree. So it's an interesting, at times a little bit complex and weird skill tree system, since there's no easy way to respec, and it's kind of tough to know exactly what you're going for until you get like really far into the game, I'd say. But I've been having fun just kind of going through and alright, here's toss a skill point in here, toss a skill point in here. We'll just kind of see how this stuff goes. Picking up loot. It's always fun to find laser guns and auto rifles and stuff like that, and play with those and see how they work. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting ideas to this. Like I kind of dig some of what they're going for, and I just was reading before this their endgame plans, which sound really interesting. So the endgame this upcoming weekend, they're going to have like a little mini event kind of a thing. And that mini event then is going to set up what they call a war zone. Players can go through the war zone, they can level up and get special, basically what I think is the equivalent of, what's it called in Diablo, the Seraphim level,
Oh, the Paragon.
Paragon levels. Yeah, so you can basically level up like
Ooh.
your Paragon kind of stuff, and when you do that, you'll get access to new skills and other things in order to. This is not a good place to stand. So you get access to different skills that you can kind of increase your. It's really bad.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
gonna pull
great.
back. So you can increase different things and kind of go beyond what the current level is for your character and stuff.
That's annoying. So I said wait to respawn, and now it's not giving me the option to respawn. Because I thought it was going to respawn me like right in the middle of all that chaos.
Purge the chaos. I'm realizing too, this is probably a very bad situation for Nick, concerning Mike's level 218 and Nick's probably like
Ah, boo.
4. So anyway, so going back to what I was saying with with all that stuff, once the war zone clears, basically players are going to affect the game world permanently based off of what happens through that war zone. Like, it's not clear yet what that means, but maybe it's like a planet no longer becomes accessible, or new enemies become start flooding the map or something. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with all that. But that is going to then kick off into the first season, where a whole new subsector, new area with new planets and everything else is going to open up, which is also going to introduce a new faction, which is the Dark Eldar. For all you Dark Eldar fans out there.
These guys are really upsetting me.
They are way too tough for us because you're the only one that's level 200. And
I thought you were 190.
I'm like 188 or 190. I don't know.
It said you were 191, so I picked a 188 mission.
Well, Nick's like level 4.
Well,
Yeah, I was 65.
okay, well, let's surrender and pick something else.
Fight through. We almost killed one of these Space Marines.
Yes. Someone vote! Jesus!
No! I'm going to kill this Plague Marine, even if it kills you. Die! Bah!
Fine.
Bah! Mission failed.
Yes, let's pick something that Nick can do.
Sorry.
Look,
Sorry for wanting to be inclusive of our friend.
it's 2018, we're not inclusive of anybody. Ha ha ha. Alright, well, this is 80, okay? 80.
Anyway, so once that all happens, then they're gonna have plans for kind of repeating a similar idea throughout future seasons. So lots of free content, and the other thing is, once that season ends, it sounds like they're gonna do like new gear in the game. They're gonna increase the level cap, all the kind of that sort of good stuff that you want from these kinds of games. So that's cool. Like, it's good that there's a very set idea for what players can do once they make their way through the campaign, once they're at max character level, kind of something to go and do.
I like how this woman has a bunch of cybernetics jacked into her, and she also found the time to be fashion forward and have eyebrow piercings.
And she also has, she doesn't care. She's like giving you a look like, ask me about my eyebrow piercings and see what happens.
ask me about Loom.
So there's lots of interesting, and the other interesting thing that they've said that they are going to do is they will have paid DLC at some point, which you can buy, or you can use in-game currency to buy the DLC. So there's the Fate tokens, they're the purple one that you acquire for missions, and there's different ways that you can acquire more of that through special missions and stuff. So, they haven't announced any prices for this one way or the other, but it's cool too that they have a way for people who really enjoy playing this and want to play more. They give you a way to just get that content and not have to shell out any additional money, which hey, that's a nice way as opposed to what we've seen with a lot of other companies and games. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. I like what they're doing with it. There's still a lot of things that I wish were kind of polished up and made clearer, or just like made a little bit more. I don't know, like some of the weapons just don't feel like they pack much of a punch like they need to. Like that was the one thing with Deathwing, right? Like those weapons felt like Warhammer weapons, and
yeah, they did.
There's a lot of stuff going on there, and occasionally just, there's cover, but it's all destructible. So like I hide behind this thing, and then some guy throws a grenade at me, and there goes that cover. And I get the idea that you want to kind of move and do all this kind of stuff, but it never quite, it never really gels for me the way I kind of want it to. Especially when like I'm behind cover, and then if enemies are behind cover, I have to destroy their cover, and so I have to start thinking about, well, what gun do I have that would maybe be better off for destroying the cover, and then switch over to a different gun. And every time I switch, like all my abilities have a cooldown. So like there are tactical ideas in place here, but it never seems to get to the point where I'm like, okay, I see how to make those pieces come together in a satisfying way. And maybe I just haven't hit that part of the tutorial yet or something, but yeah, that's been my time so far with it. And I played a bit of this in the alpha leading up to the beta, which I didn't do a ton of the beta, only enough to kind of hop in like, oh, okay, this looks cool. I'll play it in a week when it's the full launch. But definitely between like the alpha and now, there's been a lot of polish, a lot of things that they've refined, which is good to see.
Yeah, I think what I like about it is I played as the assassin before, but I think what I really like is actually the spellcasting system, because there's a risk to it.
Yep.
And we're playing on essentially ultra easy compared to our power levels at the moment. So I can sit here and just jam on all my spells. But the spells I'll generate warp heat. It's this little meter down here. And once I go above certain thresholds, warp anomalies start appearing. And so I can... It'll suddenly do things like spawn a portal with 1,000 chaos demons, coming out of it, which is a bad thing.
Even a big chaos demon, which is also a bad thing.
Yeah.
You don't want more enemies.
No, definitely not. And actually, I was joking when I said 1,000, but it is like bad if you go above the threshold.
Yeah, they do like nurgling spawns, like their little mini hordes or whatever.
I'll see if I can get something negative going.
The one part of all that I really hate, like there's like a warp storm that just is slow, but it follows you. So if you get into a bad spot where you can't really maneuver, you just like have this thing sitting on top of you, constantly ticking off your life.
Yeah. Alright, so right now my screen is glowing purple, so I can spawn warp anomalies.
Yeah, ours is too, or at least mine is. So I'm seeing the effect of it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's how you know. Like, whenever you see the screen glow purple, you can be like, Mike, what are you doing?
Don't worry about it. And I can also cast spells that lower my warp heat, but, I mean, really, why would I do that?
And there's a whole modular system to them, too, right? Like, you have the base spell, and then you can...
Yeah, the spells can have, essentially, a skill tree.
which I think is really
So
kind
you
of
can
cool.
add extra effects to them. Here we go.
Oh,
That's something.
There you go. That's the tornado thing I hate.
Tornado of souls.
Don't stand in that.
Nick, you should stand in that.
Nick, don't listen to him.
Nick, don't listen to Jason. He does nothing but steer you wrong.
I'm busy shooting this big guy in the face.
Nick, my character's name is Justicia. And Mike's is probably like Bear at the Fair or
There we go. This is the real shit.
Bear Fair or whatever. So who do you
There's a
think
chaos demon.
Oh, good, thanks. Yep. That's
You're
what I needed.
welcome.
See, this is why you don't listen to Mike. He
Fine.
brings chaos demons to the party.
But my guy's he's all penitent, right? He's like, cleanse me of my sins.
Oh, I'll cleanse you. Come over here. Let me let me cleanse your taint.
Please, can we stop saying taint?
No.
Are we following it yet? Or,
Look,
we're
there's a,
looking down
there's a
at
treasure
the
chest
game.
over here.
is that where the taint is?
Why don't you open it and find out?
Taint cleansing is canonical in game.
Alright. Boom.
And yeah, like any one of these, there's loot and there's different colored loot. They do something. Mike and I both are just like, this is messing us up.
Yeah, the rarest. So the rarest is purple. Second rarest is green.
Yeah.
Which
And then it goes blue and then gray for common. And you're just like, wait.
just flip that blue and that green, and we'll be fine.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, you find out the hard way.
Yeah. Green items are better than blue items.
Some credits. This IM plant. Alright.
So the missions that you can take on, like as a group, there's, base ones that you probably see Mike going through on the star map. Mike can also, I think you have Uther's Terra opened up, right?
I do. I can go back to that if you like. I have not
Yeah.
used it yet.
See if you can do one of those for us, because I'm just as something to show off. I think it's kind of interesting.
It's gonna be too hard for Nick. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, here's some Arcana. We have Minor Arcana and Major Arcana, and a Fate. I can use my Fate. There's some Divination. I don't know what any of this does. I had literally just unlocked this the last time I played. It's saying that the base mission difficulty is going to be 218.
Oh, okay.
I'm 84.
Yeah, that's... Let's
91.
see. There's a... I can put a trader
101.
in here.
I'm getting there. Hold on. I'm equipping things.
Alright.
I don't think I'm going to get up that high, but...
Let's see, we can give ourselves some extra fate points, and let's see, everyone's faster. Ooh, here's one we can't die.
I got to 103.
Here we go. Creating.
I got a big old flamethrower now.
Boom. I created something. Oh damn, this is just gonna put us right into it. Oh, that's pretty sweet.
What did you create?
A mission that will kill us all.
Cool.
I'm ready.
Hunt this
it
plague
costs us 100 fate to join.
Yeah, I can't accept.
You can't accept? That is
No.
bunk.
I only have 58 fate. How do you get fate?
Well, let's see if that is just going to be...
You should be able to pump that down or something, I think.
No. I cannot pump it down, because I crafted it. It doesn't have a story mode. Yeah. Nope, it's a tarot mission. So we have to, we'll have to do something else. But anyway, that's this game's kind of way to tailor challenges to your...
Yeah. It's similar to... I mean, it's kind of like running rifts in Diablo, but but it's custom made, and you can actually, part of the customization is you can say, hey, I want better weapons in this, and I don't know if it lets you even specify further to be like, I want ranged weapons, but
Right.
it lets you actually craft something where it's like, you know, you're going to get this type of gear out of it, which is extremely useful in a game like this. I really am glad that someone finally thought, hey, why don't we just let people make a mission that gives them what they want.
Why can't I accept this one either?
What do you mean? Why can't you accept it?
I don't have the option to. It's grayed out.
What about this one?
No.
Let's just see what happens. Yeah, I can't either. I don't know why.
Is it because I put a fate mission out there? Is it just... have we encountered a bug?
I mean, start one up and we can wait for the timer to count down and just see what happens.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Alright. Don't you love when we're experimenting on stream?
I mean, yes.
I don't want to do that. I want to do something.
Give me items.
This is... Oh, this is the campaign. Hello.
Hello?
Oh, don't you love the animation that plays out every time?
Oh, that you zoom in and out of the map? Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see if we can purge some Nurgles. Purge the Nurgle demons.
See what happens. In my heart, I accept this mission.
I mean, purging the Xenos is pretty much all I live for these days. It's requesting a server.
Yay,
we
stay
go.
on us.
Bizarre.
Is it loading for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Confront the arch enemy.
Purity
Oh.
beacons.
We should see if we can do a one of the assignments from the Astropath. See if we can show that off. I don't know if you can do those in co-op or not because it's like player choice in some parts.
Oh, like the critical missions?
Yeah, the ones that are like, what do you want to do in this scenario?
Yeah, I don't know. That would be really interesting to find out.
And there's a whole morality system and that I don't know if that goes into play once they get to the in-game content stuff or not. There's a tab in your character screen, but I can't access it.
I can't. I'm higher level than you, and I can't access it yet either.
So, yeah, I'm curious if that's going to be part of the whole seasonal stuff, which would be interesting if there was.
Yo, want to test out my new flamethrower, damn it.
No.
Yeah, buddy, burn.
So have you tried the controller support for this yet, Jason?
I haven't, no, because
This game is a console game as well.
it will be next month.
The Van Helsing game actually was okay. I tried a little bit of it on the PS4. Played alright.
Yeah, so my, this is nothing against this game in particular, but I actually dislike isometric games where you can rotate the camera. Because it actually, for the way I parse isometric games, it throws me off and I lose track of where I am.
Yeah, the camera rotation is interesting. It's a manual. Purple auto gun.
Nice.
I got purple digital weapons. What is that?
It's a purple digital weapon.
Burn.
Oh, interesting.
I did find that actually having a pan left, pan right button on the keyboard is better than doing the middle mouse
Yeah.
rotation.
Look, I'm just gonna swing my sword, and if you walk into it, that's your own. Okay.
It's your own fault.
Swinging my sword. Sorry, that's your fault. That's your fault. That's funny. Like, that ability literally just says, hey, it moves you towards the cursor, and you sweep your sword as you go, and you're like, okay.
Yo, I gotta tell you, that Chaos Demon, not mine.
Sure, sure. You would say that.
Look. Some crimes just can't be solved. Let's see, debuff this guy. Cast a spell at him. Ooh, everything's purple.
This is another one of your midnight specials.
Look. When are you gonna learn that all of my ideas are good?
When you stop, when you have the taint cleansed from you.
Well. Well. Boys. That's just rude.
When you stop performing dark rituals in the basement.
But I learned it from watching you.
What are you doing down there? Nothing. Are you performing dark rituals? No!
I am.
Just watching Generation Doom. It's okay.
Oh, jeez. It's a movie that no one remembers except us. You are aware of this, right?
Oh, there's gonna be people out there who are like, oh yeah, I remember that movie.
That movie was my sexual awakening.
Yeah, exactly. There are people who absolutely are gonna be like, yep, that woke me up to some interesting things. Never been the same since.
It's okay. Oh, that was you. I cast a spell at you.
It's okay.
Oh look, the
See how
Seattle
you-
Sounders just scored a goal.
Whoa!
That's
Kill 'em.
choppy.
No Astartes.
That's
No,
choppy.
will eat me alive.
Oh, this guy's gonna die. Alright, I'll cool off. I might have spouted a few extra demons.
I will
Thanks.
rip your
How's everybody's frame rate doing?
Pretty solid.
Really? Oh, mine got super, super choppy.
It's network related, I've found.
Inquisitor.
Ooh, I got destruction amplification.
Yeah, I've never had a problem when I'm hosting. Like, it hitches here and there. I think that's probably because the game is a little unoptimized still.
Yeah.
But like, I have some rubber banding issues when I'm playing with a friend and I'm not hosting.
Yeah, that's the most common thing I see.
7 enemies.
Yeah, they're back. There's a little
Goodness gracious.
side area we didn't go down.
And then one guy just out in the middle of nowhere. Do you see that?
Yeah.
There's just this guy floating out, and did they airlock this this fool?
Well, no. Hey, you remember there are those like secret area kind of things some
Yeah,
maps
that's
have.
true. Maybe it's a super boss.
Maybe.
Maybe it'll eat Nick.
Oh.
He's counting on my map.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there are. I mean, the nice thing about some of these missions, you get into them and it's like, oh, hey, there's a little warp pad thing here. So you investigate the warp pad and it like takes you to a map, part of the map that's not marked at all.
It's true.
You get some loot.
Got him!
Gave them death.
I did give him death.
My compliments.
I did serve the
My
Inquisitor.
compliments to the chef.
The Inquisitor? And yes, I can speak. I did serve the Emperor well, thank you. Phew.
Alright, so we're gonna go check out the
Yeah,
Techno
check out the
Priest or whatever.
Astropath.
Astropath.
Look.
Yes. It's Warhammer.
How many times have I
Remember
told
when we were playing this game earlier and all we did was read the dialogue to one another and we couldn't stop laughing?
you?
That's my favorite part of any Warhammer thing.
Remember how we read it and we were just like, this is so Warhammer, they absolutely lit.
Yeah. Oh, I could show off the spell customization here.
Oh yeah, you should do that.
Yeah, so when you are a Psyker, you have the ability to carry items that have spell slots. So you'll see it'll have a couple spells that it has to give you, but then the little tome icon is slots that you can fill. And over here you have a power priority, so you kind of pick the abilities you want to use, and as your gear has more slots in it, it'll fill them in the order that you prefer. And so right now, because I'm under rank, I think it's rank 10, I only have one slot, but you can put these runes into any of your spells, and they have different effects. So like adding critical chance or extending durations and things like that.
And part of the reason for that, right, for the spell priority is because you have two sets of gear, so you can, you might have a priority if you have
Alright.
certain gear on that only gives you two spells, but then if you swap to other gear that gives you four spells, kind of a thing, right?
Yeah. I have requested a priority assignment from the Astropath.
Okay.
So let's see. The analysis of orbital pict feeds has detected a heretic tribe in an abandoned Imperial facility. The presence
Okay.
of daemonic entities has been confirmed. Resources for a full-scale purgation are unavailable, so the Ordo has opted for a surgical strike. So
Cast
these...
magic missile.
Yeah. So these missions, it's just a string of missions, but before each one, you can make a series of decisions that kind of affect what kind of mission you might get and what you are doing. So let's see. Continue. So this is going to send us to the map. Alright. So arrival of tithe collectors, blah blah blah. Astropath precogs, bloop bloop. High threat agents of the archenemy. The orbital purge shall be averted by taking direct control of the situation. That task falls to you. So, let's see. After reviewing the data regarding the current tactical situation, we've collated the following intervention options. We can replace the lead officers with inquisitorial agents, pardon and arm prisoners, or broadcast reassuring Imperial propaganda.
Replace them.
Replace lead officers. Alright. Boom. So we have increased our collateral damage and increased our success level.
Good.
Most units are holding off the established perimeter. The cultists are launching a series of small skirmishes, probing for weak spots. Select a field operation. An inquisitorial cremation site that was captured by the cultist forces. Covert Ordo operatives under fire requesting ammo resupply, or a cultist mob that slipped through the front lines. We would have to hunt them down.
Ooh, what was the second option?
Ammo resupply.
I feel like that would be the most beneficial.
Probably. Let's do that. So,
By the way, I'm up to,
the current difficulty of the assignment is 242.
Okay.
This looks like a... Alright. Ooh, Windows Defender.
Oh, that's a special
So we
ability.
can pay some credits to get a 10% damage bonus for the mission.
Yeah, we'll need that.
Okay. And that's it.
All right.
We're gonna get our butts handed to us.
Yeah, we are, because I'm only level 200.
I'm level 218. I didn't know this was gonna roll a
110.
high mission for us. You're dead. Alright. It's fine.
Still can't accept. Yeah.
Whatever.
We'll wait. We know this will go through.
Yeah, so
Is
the thing that I don't get about this is your power rating versus the difficulty of the mission. Because it says all it really does is add a modifier of how much damage you take versus how much damage you do to the
Yes.
enemies, and the number doesn't seem that drastic. It's like 10% off for me, but enemies just chew through you unless you vastly overrank the mission.
Well, and that's where, like I said, the whole. Okay, so I should be using cover. I should be trying to engage with this tactically. I think is where a lot of that comes into play, and it just.
But then, like, a Chaos Space Marine shows up and all of your shots ping off of it,
Right.
and you can't
right.
kill it no matter how much cover you're hiding behind.
Yeah, and that's where I said like it just doesn't ever feel like it quite gels like it needs to for some of this stuff. And I mean, I definitely understand wanting to make stuff challenging and give players the option to take on harder missions. I think
Yo,
there's
I'm playing Path of Exile right now. I'm all about challenging action RPGs.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a need when you do that to have it really tuned well and really have it feel like you're accomplishing something as opposed to watching small bits of health chip away.
Yeah.
Purge the universe of their taint.
Purge their taint.
And their blood.
Uh,
We're purging the universe of their taint, guys.
Okay.
He said the words.
He
So let's
he
just,
did.
you know,
See how this goes.
Yeah.
I slay in thy name.
so like the normal enemies don't really seem that difficult to kill here.
I mean, yeah.
For me.
I'm taking damage like crazy. Like one
Well,
shot takes off like a
this
quarter
is
of my
twice your
damage.
power level. That's to be expected.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking some damage, but it's not nothing I can't deal with. I will say that I'm at minus 6% damage dealt and plus 9% damage suffered.
Same here.
Yeah.
And I did give us a damage buff, so
Yeah, and I got a damage buff thing from the last mission that was like something, just a piece of loot for me. So I'm
Nice.
imagining that's helping out.
nice. So we'll just take it a little slower and not rush headlong into everything, and we'll be fine, I think.
Not try and take on a position against well-armored enemy on higher ground.
Don't do it, Anakin.
Okay. Would that have actually been the better name? Would it be better to have named our characters after Star Wars characters?
No. Not in the grim dark world of Warhammer 40,000.
But wouldn't that have just made the most sense?
Maybe? Honestly, I don't know what to think anymore.
You're still trying to figure out what Link's ultimate smash move is, aren't you?
I'm still disappointed that I didn't name the Cabal the Co-Operator. I'm genuinely upset. Nick just busted that out. I screwed up. I screwed up. I'm sorry.
You'd like to apologize to your family, to everyone.
No, my
who-
family knows I've failed. Trust me.
Holy crap, that thing heals fast.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like
A lot of
bosses-
enemies have crazy regen.
bosses in particular, or I mean, they have different categories for what they call bosses. There's like champions and elites and other stuff, but whatever they are, you have to constantly be attacking them, or they do get just like full health back.
It
in a
makes me
matter of-
wonder if these guys really liked Inferno in Vanilla Diablo 3, because that was a big part of that experience. Was bosses, whenever they killed you, they would just start regenning their health.
Yeah, but that was like when they killed you. This wasn't like, hey, I just stopped shooting you for 2 seconds and now you've got all your health back.
True. Look at this guy. Look at this. Someone is shooting me through a wall, and I do not agree.
Ooh. Someone's got their work.
Okay, I'm trying to kill these guys.
If you bring a demon into this, all I'm saying is we can't afford a demon right now.
I've cooled off.
Cool your jets, man.
I did. Oh, this guy. You, I don't like.
I will rip your mind into shreds.
Whoa.
There we go. See ya, buddy.
Yeah, when I was talking about the power level, it just seems really, I guess, uneven. Like, sometimes an equal power level means the mission is going to have a nice stiff challenge, and other times it means you might as well not try.
I think a large part of that is how the situation that you find yourself in, basically, when it comes to the enemies. Like, I have found the rebel guardsmen with their little laser pistols. If there is a group of them, so like here actually, we'll probably see some of that. If there's a group of them, they will get on you and just like demolish your health in a matter
like a-
of...
Giant turret over here. It's
Yeah, if you get behind the turret, you can... Wah!
You're supposed to be able to use it, but it doesn't work.
you know,
can't-
let me try something then.
Here, I
No,
can lure
okay.
enemies. If you man the turret, I can try and lure enemies so that you can actually shoot them.
I can't get the prompt. The prompt was there, and
I got one over here.
yeah,
Go in other way.
yeah. I'm going. Here
Oh.
comes this friend.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. It's overheated.
Oh, why'd you do that?
Because I thought that you would kite him the other way, and instead you ran him into me.
I was trying to get in a turret. I didn't realize you were in.
There, you blast his butt.
I will.
Burn his taint.
Yep. Now he's out of range. You gotta bring him closer.
Whoa.
Closer.
Too close.
Closer.
Alright.
Yay.
So far, I need med supplies.
Some here. Nick. This one right here.
Hold on.
What are you doing?
I was following Jason.
I don't have med supplies.
Coming.
Swinging my sword, and guys are running into it.
Thank you.
Which I say, okay. Wait, don't follow me just yet. Go back to that little... Go back to the elbow. Clear off the 3 guys that are going to be sitting back there. You don't have to run back.
This isn't so bad.
Nope, we don't want this to happen.
Fire with fire.
Bad psychic summoners.
Got him.
Got him.
So another thing I think is interesting is the reload mechanic. Like, having to reload your bolt pistol in this game is a cool thing that you have to account for. Because normally in an
Yeah.
action RPG, you're just spamming everything as often as you can.
Yeah.
In this one, you actually have to account for the fact that your ammo might run out.
Right, yeah.
Die, heretic.
Especially if you're going into things or you see a big group of enemies up ahead. And like laser weapons and plasma stuff can overheat. Like they have little heat meters, and so you have to watch those.
We got a big boy behind us.
Hey, big boy.
Boop. There's some
I
friends
believe-
over here.
Buck, you mean to say we have an Ogren behind?
The battle is swinging our way. One last push and the victory is ours.
Give them
Yeah.
all the death. Give them death with a side of curly fries.
Curly fries.
Arby's curly fries?
Sure.
Those are pretty good.
I mean, you want to give them death, right? So,
Death before Arby's.
death by Arby's curly fries. I mean, I think that tracks.
Arby's is fine.
Recoil, unclean.
They have the meat.
Okay, well now you're just repeating their marketing message, which I find distasteful.
The heck, I got like stuck on the ramp.
Yeah, this game is not ADA compliant. Watch out for
Oh.
the walker.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, hello.
So we are only
Wow.
allowed to die a certain number of times, Nick. FYI.
I haven't died yet.
Keep it up.
Keep firing, assholes. Oh wait,
Keep up not dying.
My cover is rapidly eroding though here. I don't have cover anymore.
Find some new cover.
I'm gonna take care of this guy.
Oh my goodness, the chip damage on this.
what the heck? There's a chest over here. Let's remember to
He
grab it.
has 14,000 damage, or 14,000 health. And it is ticking off in 5s. Let's kill all his little buddies here.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll cleanse the warp a bit. Alright, so we're just down to the dude, right?
Think
Yeah.
so?
I hit him for a whole 82 damage, like with each shot.
His leg is tweaking out.
That's the other thing, like,
Whoa.
on stuff like these big enemies, I really wish there was something where
Please stop
You
shooting
can
me through the
actually-
walls.
do damage to different body parts and have that affect things.
I need some grenades. Is there a supply thing close by?
No.
I
Or
think
where we
it's
sell any? I feel like I saw some laying around. I'll be right back.
We got it.
Nope. Crap.
I I slay you.
Bam.
It's in the chest.
What's in the box?
I got a rock.
Unexciting.
We did it.
I
But
got
yeah,
a chain sword, a purple chain sword.
Sweet.
Oh, nice. That is actually like a pretty interesting melee weapon as far as that goes, because it has
Yeah.
the ability to hold it down and just like saw through a person.
I'm down with the chain sword.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's probably where I'm going to stop then.
No, I think that's a good place to call it.
Yeah,
Hey,
for sure.
We crushed that. We were supposed to get owned.
Yeah.
Well, you really came to play that time, Nick.
Thank you.
It's 4-player online co-op, like I said earlier, not through the campaign. The campaign, there's a specific thing when you go over it that's like single player only. But
That's
outside
a
of that,
different website.
oh, single, nope, nope. I was gonna say something. I was like, nope, that's not gonna.
There's a literal site called onlysp.com.
Yeah.
There is, yeah.
Our success level ticked up a little bit, and our collateral damage stayed the same.
Awesome. We are victorious.
Yeah. So then we could. From there, you would continue on. You'd make the decision tree over and over again, and you get rewarded at the end, kind of based on how your collateral damage was kept down, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
But it's a cool game. It's not going to replace something like a Diablo or a Path of Exile for me, but I think that this does a lot of really interesting stuff. And as far as Warhammer games go, it's actually pretty meaty.
Yeah.
it seems so.
Because
Yeah.
there have been so many Warhammer games coming out lately that a lot of them just seem really thin.
Yeah, they have like a couple things that you can do, and then you're just like, and that's it.
Right. But, Vermintide's really good. This is pretty fun, and Total Warhammer is great as well, so...
There's good stuff out there for folks that are looking for some Warhammer to get their Warhammer fix. And yeah, I think this is like it's one of those things like I want to keep checking back with. Like it's a game that I'm just like, okay, let me see what happens with the season when they kind of do that and what they have planned for the end game.
For sure.
Stuff, and what do they have plans, going forward. And it's one of those things like I think it's just like 6 or 7 in what I think are like tweaks and adjustments away from being like something I could easily spend a lot of time in, just because I love Warhammer.
Sure.
And I think it does. It has a lot of interesting ideas about how to implement that kind of a universe into an action RPG. So yeah, out now. I think it's $40 on Steam, and then the console, PlayStation 4, Xbox One releases will be next month, July 5th.
Sweet.
And be sure to check the site. We got a bunch of co-op stuff coming out of E3. We'll have more as stuff on the show floor opens up. None of us are there, obviously.
Not this year.
Not this year. So we're just grabbing stuff as we find it. But interesting at E3 so far. A couple. The only big surprise co-op announcements thus far from the pressers has been Neo 2 from Sony yesterday, and
Wolfenstein
Youngblood from Bethesda. Yeah, so
Cool. All right.
looking forward to that. We'll be back next week with another co-op game.
Yes.
Peace.